Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs podcast. We're on season 7, episode number 20. Tonight's the sports edition. Andy, how are you?
Good. I was just muting the phone there. We got so much stuff going on now. Things are popping up all the time this time of year.
Well, March 23rd, 2026, we're at the intersection of a lot of things. Winter becoming spring season becoming baseball season from winter. The season's changing. We've got NCAA Final Four. Baseball season's in high gear. The UFL starts Friday, Andy. I know that's top of your list.
Dear Lord. There's not time for all this.
So we're going to start off with a trivia question. We'll get right into the sports, and then we'll end up at the end of the show with the answer to the trivia question and anything we may have missed.
All right. Fire away.
The 2026 season for Major League Baseball, the Tampa Bay Rays, will have a sponsor, the corporate sponsor on their right sleeve, I think is going to be the corporate sponsor for this year, for the entire season. What is the material made out of, or that sponsor that'll be sewed onto their sleeve this year? What material is it made out of? It's the only one that has it. Every other team has a sponsorship, but it's made out of regular material. The Rays are the only ones different.
It's like a wood company's made out of wood.
That's all I've got. And don't say cardboard, plastic. We'll get it. It'll make sense at the end of the show.
It's not Trojan, is it?
Wow. Sheepskin.
Wow. Okay, here we go. Boys basketball tournament. Here's the brackets. Minnesota State Boys High School Tournaments. Here's Class A. Class A. Henning is your number 1 seed. They got Uppsala there. Then you got Cherry, you got your Janesville, your Liberty, your Red Lake County Rebels, Southwind and Hills Beaver. Not to be confused with Beaver Hills. 2A, Good Hughes, the number 1 seed. And you got the Perhams there. And you got your usual AA teams in there, Jackson County, Waseca. 3A, Pitino Grayson, Minneapolis South is your first game. Mankato East, Northfield finishes off the left side of the bracket. Right side, Grand Rapids and De La Salle, and Sartell and Richfield. Now here they list De La Salle. Now, Dan, I don't know, and I'm not trying to be funny when I say this. De La Salle, is that one word? Or what? I don't even know. Is it like an act? Is that one name?
I think it could be D space DE space La Salle. And here they have it listed as De La Salle, but I don't typically see it all one word.
Yeah, I've seen it broken up in 3, 2. I've shame on me for we got to do the history of why and how that name came up. And
that is
someone's name. I'm not trying to disrespect them. I've never. Now I see it as one word. It's kind of hit me like I've never seen that.
I think it's spelled. It looks goofy that way. And this is coming right off the Minnesota State High School League's website, so they may have it wrong. But it's a parochial. It's a Catholic school. They're on the island. On the
our intern Jason left. I bet you that's where he went.
Yeah, very good basketball. Like that, very good boys basketball team. They've always been very good.
All right, in 4A, Tartan and Blaine is your first game or first side there, and then Chaska, Lakeville South on the left. Right side, Apple Valley, Wayzata, and Alexandria area, and Maple Grove. Finish off your right side of the brackets. The Frozen Four for hockey is set. Of course, you had your 6 automatic qualifiers. You got your 16 teams, your at-large bids there. No Minnesota Gophers. Do have Minnesota Duluth. Do have Minnesota State on there. So we got 2 schools representing. So go Minnesota Duluth because I just don't have the heart to cheer for Minnesota State. Sorry, can't do it. And Big Ten champs. Shout out to Max, local boy, 184 champ. There he is.
Well, Andy, we've got a national champion at 184 pounds here that lives probably 4 miles away from each of us.
Yeah.
Right here in Western Carver County. So congrats.
And half of the Penn State team was champions.
That is unbelievable.
And Tyler Reddick wins for NASCAR. His 4th win in 6 races. One of 3 guys to do it. The other 2, Dale Earnhardt and Bill Elliott.
That is unbelievable.
And then here's the standings right now. You got Tyler Reddick in 1st, Blaney in 2nd, Bubba Wallace up to number 3, Denny, Chase Elliott in 5th, et cetera, down the line. Okay, here's the Sweet 16 for the first of all, this is the men's bracket. The women have game going on tonight. Their games played don't fit perfectly for our broadcasting, so keep an eye on our social medias for updates on their schedules. But here's the men's. Curse you, Iowa. Curse you. Cost me my bracket. Curse you. Naughty words to Iowa.
Ouch.
And Texas wins a play-in game, and they screwed up my bracket too. They're not getting a Christmas card this year.
They've won 3 games already. Andy, they've won 3 games already in the tournament, and everyone's only played 2, except Texas played one of those play-in games. Yep. 11 seed. It's been done before, though.
Yeah, I think an 11 seed a few years ago made the Final Four, actually. So, but I know one guy in one of the brackets I'm in. That poor SOB had Wisconsin winning it, and they lost on the first game. So, and then I had Kentucky beating St. John's.
Okay.
And my make it or break it, I had Kentucky beating Duke on Friday. And both of the boards I'm on, a lot of them have Duke winning it. My only chance right now is for Duke to lose Friday, or I might as well just, start getting, full and ready for baseball season. Because
now, Andy, with the Sweet 16 here, if you've been watching social media, I know a lot of our followers do that. They're saying, "Oh, Big Ten's doing so well. They've got so many teams in the Sweet 16. They're doing so well. It's a great tournament for the Big Ten." Well, that very first opening day, Thursday, all the teams that lost, I think, were Big Ten teams. And the trending, and what I saw trending the most on social media and Twitter was never pick the Big Ten in the NCAA tournament because all they do is lose. That's all I saw Thursday. You can't pick them because Big Ten sucks in the big tournament.
Yep.
And now, 4 days later, what a great conference. What a great conference. They're so good.
The only team eliminated so far is Wisconsin. The rest are all still in it that made the tournament.
Well, no, Ohio State lost.
Ohio State too.
Wisconsin lost right away. Right away on the first day, a couple of those teams were
there's
beat
2
out.
schools out. But yeah.
And so all I was seeing on that first day was the trending was Big Ten sucks in the NCAA. Now, 4 days later, they're the best.
It could be an all Big Ten. It could be an all Big Ten Final Four.
Oh yes.
Michigan, Purdue, Michigan State, and Nebraska or Illinois.
And watch our Beer Belly Sports.
We have 3 of the teams down there in that South bracket. They're really good shot for the Big Ten team.
3 out of 4 right there in Nebraska, boy. But yeah, Beer Belly Sports. I don't know if you're going to bring it up, but we are in their pool. We will be showing the brackets there of the 23 folks that did a pool.
Are you in it? I don't see. They show the top 5 all the time, Dan. I never see your name. I didn't know you were in there.
You got to scroll way to the bottom.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
I've been hovering at second to last so far, or even
you're a
third
page 3 guy. I got it.
Right. Go down to page 3. You'll see my name there, but we are included with a bunch of the other Beer Belly Sports fans, podcasters and such in their bracket.
Yes.
Andy, you're up there pretty high.
I tried, but like I said, I got Duke losing early and Arizona winning, so Friday's a big day for me.
Yeah, they had someone in that bracket with Gonzaga winning it all, and
coming out with Gonzaga,
Wisconsin.
Some clown has Houston winning it. I don't know what the hell.
Whoa!
What?
We'll see in 2 weeks how that shakes out.
He was on page 3. Rick Pitino makes the Sweet 16 for the first time in over a decade. And speaking of Coach Pitino, he's made it in 5 different decades. The tournament. So congrats to him. The women made the Sweet 16 and the NIT. Now, I'm not ripping on the Gophers when I say this. I'd say it's about any team, but since it's here and it's the local news, you're getting it. Congratulations, you made the Sweet 16. The way the women's go is you play the first 2 rounds at home. So they did. And they won both games by 2 on last-second shots. Not something to be proud of. Yes, good teams win close games. But they're going around saying we made Sweet 16 like they got there with no sweat at all. They were messing their pants thinking they weren't going to make it on those 2 games. So congrats, you made it, but I wouldn't get too cocky because you barely made it.
Fair enough.
Good luck to you. Love to see you win it.
Yep.
But tone it down a little bit there. Okay, here's a throwback thing to 1988. Larry Bird really asked the 1988 three-point competition participants who's coming in second. Then he went out there and won it. He never took his warm-up jacket off the whole time. He kept it on and goes out there and just wins it. That was Larry Bird. That was the master trash talker. Who's going to come in second? Another great factoid here. Tony Gwynn batted 69 times with runners in second and third and was 2 outs during his career. Never struck out.
That's fantastic.
Well, winning 3 straight World Series from 72 to 74, the Oakland A's were outscored in World Series play 56 to 53. 9 of their 12 wins were by 1 run.
So their losses, they got beat up, and their wins were close.
And no, that's a fact I like to look at, like for the NFL, like after week 8. And it happened one time, because I think it was the Packers. They just got smoked one week. But they were like 6-1, that had been outscored by their opponents. Yep. So they're winning games by like 2 points, 3 points. But their one loss was like 25 or some stupid number like that, you know.
The negative point differential.
Yeah, the point differential, I always love that stat because that's going to be one of the most, fact here, that's going to be one of the most overrated stats in baseball or in all sports. Run differential.
Correct.
And that, sir, is what I got for you. Like I said, nothing on the women's basketball for their major tournament because they got some games tonight, some going on later. I'm sorry, go for women. We're not NIT. They're the regular tournament. I'm sorry, I misspoke. But just their games aren't Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're kind of spread out. So I apologize for not having their numbers here, their brackets, but they will be on our social medias. And so follow us there for that.
Well, Andy, here's what we've got going on here this week. Now, we're at the culmination of all these sports, a lot of things happening. Just for the listeners out there, we've got the UFL season kicks off. It's a 10-week regular season kicks off with games Friday, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday, 8 teams once again. So every weekend there's going to be 4 games. There's no bye weeks. You'll see that coming in on ESPN and Fox. Major League Baseball. They're going to be wrapping up. I believe tomorrow's the last game for all the teams for spring training, whether it's a Cactus League, Grapefruit League. They'll be done. They'll be announcing their roster. They're 26. They got to get down to a 26-man roster and break camp. And then they start. Most teams play Thursday. Then, instead of waiting a week, that AAA affiliates start on Friday already this week. So not only do the Major League, big league teams got to get down to 26 and make their cuts and option their players and whatnot, the AAA has got to get their lineups and the roster down to 28 guys. So there's going to be a lot of, if you follow the transaction wire for baseball, there's going to be a lot of movement. There could be trades, there could be pickups, there could be free agent pickups, trades, but typically just teams optioning guys down, bringing guys up. And so that'll be going steady this coming weekend with Major League Baseball.
The biggest thing in baseball you'll see is a lot of guys like the Mets had that blank on his name, that pitcher with the goofy stance where he has his one arm bent over like that.
Craig Kimbrell.
Yeah, that moron. He did not make the big club.
Okay.
But you'll see names like him where he might opt out of his minor league and thinking he can still make big club with somebody else. So you might still see some guys get filled in there, or he might say, well, then you Mets, I want to play AAA for this team because I know they're calling me up right away or something. So we'll see. I'm not saying I'm going to cut him. I'm just using him as an example.
Yeah,
might opt out and go other ways.
Last couple of years, I've gotten real into that as far as watching all the movements at the end of the break, because I never really followed the minor leagues that much before. But now it's how important that is, that they got to get their roster set and started, because they're breaking camp and go to their weekend series as well. Everyone's on a 3-game series for AAA. AA gets an extra week yet to get their roster figured out, and then single A, high A, low A. So it's all going to kick off here soon. And then locally, we're going to get town ball baseball starting. Like we said, high school baseball and softball is going to be starting. Those teams are already in practice. Now, in the state of Minnesota, because they pushed the boys basketball out a week, because girls tournament was 2 weeks ago. There was this week in between because of the different teams were hosting. Gophers were using the women's, were playing at home.
Yeah.
And so they couldn't get all of the arenas. They pushed it out a week. So those kids in boys basketball, those boys on high school teams that play baseball won't be joining the team till next week. There's, be starting the
And
season
you're supposed
late.
to have a week off between sports too.
And they're supposed to, but it's going to be interesting how this all lines
Might
up.
be an
But
exception on that.
it'll be fun to watch the baseball, the NCAA Sweet 16, the women's NCAA Sweet 16, the Frozen Four. One of the best times in sports is this time of year.
Good thing we got 31 days in March.
Yeah, and those still in the winter season. The official Minnesota State snowmobile season ends March 31st.
And I don't have one to show you. I hopefully will be getting one tomorrow or Wednesday. Your Crow River Valley League bar cards are out and available.
Okay.
Find your local team and guy to go get one from. Closed circuit to Pat and Jared. I'm watching for you. I'm looking for you.
Yes, we can't forget. We got to pick up
Brother
those.
up.
A lot of leagues have those, either the bar cards or discounts or whatever they're having for their league. Look for those at the area bars and in town. A lot of stuff going on this time of year. Look for my bonus episode this week on the Minnesota Twins as they announce their final 26-man roster. I'm going to do a breakdown bonus episode on that to kind of finish up the mini series, if you will, on my monthly stats of Twins minor league roster and major league roster. That'll be coming up.
And here's the fun part. I've seen a lot of different places put their projections out for how teams are going to finish the season. The same guys that started spring training, and then now they've changed their numbers because of who's there, who's not, injuries, this, that, their thing. The American League will stick with that one for now. They got the teams in second place in the Central and West at 500. They got Baltimore in fourth in the East with like 84, 85 wins. So basically the East has got 4 out of 5 teams making it. Their fifth place team, they got like 80 and 82. And they got the Twins in third with 78 wins. They got Cleveland with 76. Now, maybe I'm hearing Preacher in my ear too much at work all the time, being a big Cleveland fan. But from looking at them, they're better than 76 wins, in my opinion.
They should be. They should be.
The way they finished last year, some of these other teams got finishing so bad, it's like, I don't get it. I mean, I've seen the roster moves. I understand where you're coming from. But I don't get how you got some of these teams doing so good and some are doing so bad. I don't understand.
Now, one thing I'll bet.
The Mets winning it in the division. Others have them in third. So there's so much. All these experts agree.
You know what I was going to make the trivia question today, Andy, was what are the 3 worst teams in spring training right now? What division are they in? It's
National League West.
American League Central.
American League Central. Great.
The worst is Detroit with 8 wins. Kansas City has 9, and I think Minnesota Twins have 10 or 11. These are all American League Central teams that are just stinking up the place. Detroit's going to be good.
Yeah.
Kansas City should be good. Twins should be average, but now you get, the White Sox are doing well, and so is Cleveland for spring training. Now we know spring training means nothing, but boy, the offseason that the White Sox have, they're not going to be winning that many games, but it's going to be a lot more than in the past 2 years.
Yeah, the Mets have not had a good spring training, but I'm not making excuses. The Mets had a lot of guys in the World Baseball Classic.
Yes.
Kansas City had Bobby Witt Jr. in there. The Twins had should have had pitchers, but they had what's his name in center field out there?
Buxton. So
they've had some of their now. Buxton probably got a lot of at-bats anyway in spring training. Bobby Witt Jr. wouldn't have got a lot of at-bats. Yeah. But you know what? Their presence in the dugout was affected even in spring training games for some of those younger players.
Yeah, the veteran leadership.
And you talk about the scheduling has 26-man roster. They got to get that cut down to and everything else. Some people were saying with the World Baseball Classic, we'll just start a week later or a week sooner and have it in the middle of like All-Star game, like hockey and basketball are kind of doing now. Sure. I don't think you could do that in baseball because Team Japan, they weren't all made up of Major League Baseball players that happen to be Japanese. They had guys from Korea and Japan on that team. So I don't think the World Baseball Classic could really be in the middle of the year unless you did a Team USA, a Team Mexico, a Team Orient, and a team South America. I mean, you'd have to make a continental or something like that, but that would kind of take away from it a little, I think.
Yeah, it's odd. They do it every 3 years, and it's a scheduling mix-up. But it works. They get it done. But I don't know if there's a way to make it better. Maybe this is always going to be. But
you couldn't do it during the season because I said other qualifiers from other countries, unless you just said, "Hey, these 4 teams, sorry guys, this is what's going to be." Now, a lot of people complained, like Team Italy. They're not all Italian. Okay, yeah, hear me out. The qualifications to play for Team Italy, we'll just use that for an example. Either yourself, one of your parents, or one of your grandparents, or you have a travel visa from that country, then you can play for them.
That's pretty wide.
Granny or grandpa, mom or dad, maybe your spouse, I can't remember. But, I mean, it gave you a pretty big – because when I saw Jazz Chisholm was playing for Great Britain, I said, what? So he had a granny or grandpa in there that was British, I guess, so he qualified.
Yeah, it's still fun to watch. It gets people into it. It's a big energizer every 3 years, but it's so scattered. I mean, people are in the middle of spring training, they're traveling back and forth. There's all these 4 different sites. That's all done. Everyone's back home.
Teams had restrictions. It was like the Little League World Series. There was restrictions on pitchers on how many innings they could get. Some teams are asking you not to pitch their pitcher more than so much. So you're kind of restricted that way. So it's not a true world. I'm not making excuses because the U.S. is lost. I'm not saying that. But it's really hard to have it be a true World Baseball Classic Championship when there's restrictions on how many innings pitcher. Now, if you're going to do it in a tournament format, and he said, hey, I know you've had this guy all year. Too bad he can't pitch more than so many innings in a week. Okay, that's kind of cool. But there are innings restrictions now. A lot of it is from the team he came from. Hey, we don't want him pitching unless he's really trying to get a save. We don't want him pitching.
Well, that came up in the championship game where the manager received, these 4 calls from different teams saying, here's your relievers. Don't use this guy. Use this guy, but only an inning. Use this guy, but it better be in a save opportunity.
Yep.
This guy's on a 20 pitch count. If it's not a save opportunity, don't even bring in my guy. Now your manager, you're not doing real managing anymore because now you have outside.
He's handcuffed.
You're handcuffed. So it's interesting, but it's I don't know. It's an interesting thing. Leave your comments below. If anyone has comments.
Don't blame the managers too much. They're kind of handcuffed, and because like we said before, some of these guys that were managing, maybe it's like maybe he's getting a taste of it, see if he wants to manage because you're managing an all-star team. Crying out loud, Dan, you and I could imagine one of those teams and done fairly well.
The hard thing is getting everyone in. I mean, these are all all-star teams. So who are you gonna sit the bench and who are you gonna bat ninth? And then you got to get everyone else in. So
that's the hardest part. Your strategies and that, whatever. It is what it is.
It's a good problem to have. Let's leave it at that.
I'd like to try sometime.
Now, Andy, our trivia question relates to baseball.
All right.
2026 season. That's this Thursday. It'll be starting. Tampa Bay Rays. All the teams have the patch. I think even the Yankees do this year. The Rays patch. Their corporate patch is I think it's Internet Online and Investing Company. But what's their patch made out of?
It's going to be something. I'm going to have to say, like environmental. So like it's going to be some kind of different product. It's going to be the latest and greatest environmental
green,
like the trees type product. Yeah.
Tree hugger kind of a thing.
Right.
Well, the answer, it's made out of the dome at Tropicana Field that blew off during the hurricane. The roof.
They found enough pieces to make patches?
They found enough pieces. They didn't want to throw it or toss it all away.
Well, they recycled. That's good.
Someone said, hey, let's use that real thin. It's like the Metrodome Teflon or whatever it was. They had that, and they did the printing of the logo on top of that, and that's what's being stitched on their arm for the entire season will be, they said they want to remember Tropicana Field and the fact that we in Tampa are resilient against all sorts of disasters where we can handle it. So it's a constant reminder on their sleeve of the Teflon. Now that roof got done, by the way, Andy.
Yep.
They got their lease pushed out one more year. They were supposed to be done in 2 years playing there for their lease. because it was an act of God per the insurance and whatever else, they got pushed out. They're going to be playing there at the Trop for 3 more years, 26, 27, and 28. And it looks like they're going to get a whole new building facility, which they're going to be working on now. But they put in all new turf. They rolled out
I saw that.
turf,
Yeah.
new roof. They added some more extra seating and stuff there. So it is commonly known as the worst
Do
baseball
they still have the skyway going between the cross in the middle there?
experience, the poorest baseball fan experience. But
you say that's the worst stadium like that. It's almost kind of makes you want to go to see it because it's so bad.
Yeah, it's just so
You know what
the
I'm saying?
dome.
It's
the
like watching
dome
a
was
straight
bad.
back. You gotta stay there.
Yeah, it's so I think some people do want to say, "Hey, I've been there." They want to say, "I've been there. I've seen the worst." But they're trying to spice it up. The turf. They'll be able to get that 3 years out of that turf, 3 years out of the roof. It probably will be demolished in 5 years, but they are trying to get the fans and the team excited. The Tampa Bay Rays. Now, in order to get the construction and all the repairs done so they can play there this year, they did have the schedule makers say, we're going to have your first 3 series on the road.
Give you a
So
little
nine games are going to be on the road before they even come home. So that'll give them an extra week to get final preparations done on that field for the Tropicana field. And for those wondering, because some had thought that the hurricane destroyed the entire stadium, the whole facility. It was just really the roof that was blown off and torn to shreds. The rest of the stadium
water damage, of course,
was fine. And then they had damage. They had actual damage and things, but the facility was just fine overall. So they got the repairs done. They played their whole season in a minor league park last year, but they got it all done in time. And the roof and everything's good to go. So,
and this is one thing I'd love to talk to someone in Tampa to get the real poop on this. Is the top got torn off, and I'm sure some of those seats are damaged from the rain and that. And I'm guessing from thinking the way the Metrodome laid out, all that, how much rain got down into the clubhouse, all that stuff underneath, how much of that was a lot of money for revamping, I suppose, the clubhouses and everything else under there.
Well, I would imagine that, and you had said this earlier, a normal open retractable roof has water drainage pipes and things for water. Domes don't, because there's no water that can get in. There's nowhere for it to go. So when that hurricane came through and everything got flooded, there was no traps, sinks, drainage tile, nothing. They'd all just filled up. So water's got to go one way down. So it's got to go down into the clubhouse. And I'm certain all the carpeting and things like that got wrecked. But
or from the bathrooms, it comes up. So that just flooded everything everywhere. Yeah.
I think it was a major mess. But as far as restoring and getting the facility back with all that concrete, relatively easy after tearing everything out, maybe. But I don't know. It's going to look sharp.
If the lid, the top was taken off the dome a few times, but it was concrete under those steps. It was just air dryer, big ass air dryer. We'd blow all that out, and you'd be fine.
Yes.
I mean,
so that's what they've been dealing with the whole last year. But for the fans down in Tampa, that roof will be new. The artificial turf will be new. They did a bunch of upgrades there at the stadium, but you're gonna have to wait 9 games before they make their first home opener.
I'd be fine with that. Like I said, women's hockey did finish up for their college tournament. Congratulations, Wisconsin, national champions there. Like I said, the men's hockey tournament was on. Minnesota Duluth was my pick just because I don't like Minnesota State. And I got to pick a homer because that's just me for hockey, I guess. I don't know.
Now, Andy, wrestling, NCAA Division I. Another friend of the show, Joey Novak, down in Wyoming for the Cowboys, did finish 4th, a place finisher. He is on the winner's stand, 4th place. He got into the 3rd place match and then lost that, finished 4th, but he's in a real tough bracket. So 2 of the wrestlers we follow were on the winner's podium there for NCAA Division I. So congrats. He's a New Prague guy.
New Prague, they say.
Yes. All right. We'll see you next week with more updates.
Watch year 2 in his day, I bet.
Exactly. Now, next week, Andy, at this time, imagine we'll have the baseball, the AAA, the UFL, Minor League Baseball, full swing, NCAA Final Four coming up. Be sure not to miss next Monday show, everybody.
It's going to be record-breaking.
Huge. All right. Have a good week.